What's up guys, I recently built an AI SaaS and in less than a month it already reached thousands of users and it's making me money every single day, as you can see. In this video I'm going to break down exactly how I came up with the idea, how I built this with Cloud Code in literally 2 weeks, how I monetized it, and the system I'd use again if I had to start from zero. I've mapped the whole thing in this Miro board. So this isn't just a random story time, I really want to show you the actual blueprint behind it. From the niche, to the product, to free versus paid, to the landing page, and ultimately how to get started to get some traction. And just so that you know this is real and there's a lot of users using the app right now, you can see my open router, which has already more than 15,000 requests and more than 332 million tokens consumed in the last 30 days. And if I go right here into the logs, you can see that people are literally interacting with the SaaS app that I built every single day, every single hour. Last request was literally just made a couple of minutes ago. So how did I do this in just 2 weeks and how you can start to build SaaS apps as well? Well, the first thing is essentially finding a problem. You see, your SaaS should be the solution of someone's problem. That's how you can get users to pay for your product. In my case, the SaaS app that I built is an AI overlay assistant for different game engines like Unreal Engine. So it's like a co-pilot to help game developers build their own games. So when finding a problem, it was very easy. One of the problems was game developers constantly searching on Google for answers, or game developers being stuck on YouTube tutorials, or needing guided steps that they can easily follow, and also speed. These problems are universal across the whole niche of game developers, and this is a real pain that a lot of users would pay to solve. So I came up with a solution, an AI overlay assistant that is always on your screen. That is literally what my SaaS build buddy is. But I did this in a very smart way because I didn't create this idea from complete scratch. What I did instead was took a working concept and applied it into my problem to generate this new idea. So in other words, there was this other SaaS, which is called Claude. Maybe you've heard about it, it's pretty famous. And it's basically an AI that is always on your screen and it can help you with interviews. It's like always listening and it will give you the answers that you can just read off interviews. As simple as that. And I love this concept of the floating notch that is always on your screen in your display and this, transparent background and all this kind of UI concept. And I took it and I applied it into my idea where you basically are in your game engine, right? The game engine is there in the background. That's the software, that's the app that game developers use to code and build their games on. And then build by it is the floating notch that you can easily expand. Just ask it something, click on send, and it will give you the guided steps that you must follow in a very interactive and easy way. And the whole idea is that you don't need to be tabbing into Google and searching on forums how I can do this in this app or how can I do this and that. It's just an easy way where you can just get the answers directly. And what I'm trying to say is that you don't need to create a new idea from scratch. You can take something that is working and just apply it into your niche and the problem that you were trying to solve. And once I had the idea and the path that I wanted to follow, I went and opened up Cloud Code and you started to type. Cloud Code literally built everything. I just directed it. I quite literally had a working MVP in 1 hour, which is absolutely insane. You no longer need to know how to code yourself if you want to build apps and SaaS. You literally just need Cloud Code, which is just $20 a month, and that's it. That's the only thing that you need to get started in this niche. But you see, it's not that easy as just typing into Cloud Code, oh, I want to build this app that is an AI overlay in the screen and it will solve this and that. If you do that, you will probably need a lot of iterations and you will need to spend countless hours and days until you finally get the result that you want. It's literally like doing this blindly. So what you need to do instead is follow the PRD plus TDD method. Now, Gorka, what is this? Well, let me explain. The PRD and the TDD are simply documents that Cloud Code can follow to build the app seamlessly. PRD just stands for Product Requirements Document, and it's a document, like you said, that outlines everything about what you're trying to build. In my case, it was everything about the AI overlay with the translucency background, that is a floating notch that you can move it around, and then you can click on it and you can ask a question and it will call an API. It's just the description of the app that I was trying to build. As simple as that. It's everything written on a document, and obviously ChatGPT helped me build this document. I didn't do it myself. I just explained it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT turned it into an actual PRD that was ready to be used. And then what is the TDD? Well, the TDD is another document, but this is the technical design document. So if the PRD was essentially a description of what your app is, the TDD is a description of the technical route and applications that Cloud Code must follow. So for example, for the background transparency, you can use this specific color pattern that is available on the macOS system, which has this effect and whatever, it's just technical. And Cloud Code is the one that does that, okay? So Cloud takes in this PRD document that ChatGPT made and redacts this TDD that it will follow himself later on. And guys, this method is literally the ultimate combo to build apps and SaaSes with Cloud Code in literally minutes. That's how I literally was able to build the working MVP in 1 hour or even less, because I used this method and literally no one knows about this. It is amazing, guys. No one knows about this technique, because this just makes sure that the first prompt that you send is 99% there. Like, it is that good. So always use this method, guys, please. You will see, just test it for yourselves. And to make your lives easier, I've actually linked in the description a free PRD and TDD guide that you guys can follow in order to get started with this. You just need to join my free school community, which is the first link in the description, and you can get this for free. And an extra step that you can also do is just add a reference image on your prompt so that Cloud can visually know a bit what you're talking about. That's like an extra aid that you can give it, Okay, so once I had the app working with Cloud Code, it was fully functional, it was time to monetize it, right? Because obviously as SaaS, without monetizing it, it's not really that smart. So to add monetization into the app, I literally just added Stripe. It's easy, everyone knows about it, it has an easy implementation with the Cloud Code, and that's what I did. That's how I host all the payments for BuildBuddy. So this is how I designed my pricing plan so that there's thousands of users using the app and I'm making money every single day. There's a free tier and a pro tier. The free tier gives the users a reason to trust you. It's essentially the trial. It hooks them into your app. If it's actually good, of course. If it's bad, this doesn't work. Scrap all that. So make sure that when you're in with Cloud Code, the app is actually good. And I know that good is a vague word, but you know what I mean. Solves the problem in a very efficient way. And in the free tier, I specifically just gave them 10 limited asks per week and limited prior context for all of these game engines. So it was like a taste on what they can get with my SaaS. They can try it, but it's very limited. So it hooks them because, my SaaS is solving them the problem that they have, but only for a limited fraction of what they could be using it for. So that's where the pro tier comes in. This is the upgrade tier. They jump from free into pro, and it literally covers everything that they needed. So instead of having 10 limited asks per week, guess what? They have unlimited asks. Instead of having a limited prior context for the game engines, they have a full prior context for all the game engines. It contains remote control so that BuildBuddy executes for them. It has code and script generation. Things that, game developers love. And all of these are the pain points that we're literally solving. And not only that, but we also have a massive appealing discount that gives an impulse into the user when he's deciding which tier he would get, And once the monetization is in place and you have the tiers that you want and you have the reasons on why people should pay for your SaaS, you basically need to create your landing page. Because nothing works if you don't have this. The landing page is literally what sells your SaaS. In this case, this is the landing page for BuildBuddy. As you can see, we have the title, we have the button to download and see the pricing, we have a nice image that represents the core product, and we have some little videos that shows the app in the works. We have more visual aid, another video, what you will exactly get, and the roadmap, and then lastly a CTA. And of course, all this landing page was created with Cloud Code once again. and with a bit of Gemini 3 Pro because Gemini is really good at the signing UI. The landing page is literally what converts the user, because basically when they click on their website, they have no idea what your app is. So you need to show how the SaaS works with videos. You need to show the experience flow of the user, how it will actually solve their problems, what they will get, what specific features and obtainable things they have access to. The roadmap, which is very important for the subscription model, because obviously this is a subscription model. That's why it's generating money every single month. But subscription models only work if they have a return for the long run. You don't want them to subscribe and then unsubscribe immediately. You want to keep them on hook. So there's upcoming features that will be coming later on that they are looking forward to. They will stay subscribed. And then of course at the end, as I mentioned, the CTA again once they go to the landing page. And this is essential because your app will not be downloaded if you don't have this. But you see, this doesn't even work if you don't have the following, which is the real multiplier distribution. Distribution is how people will get into your landing page. It's essentially the marketing. And this is by far where most people give up. They built the app with Cloud Code, it's working, they added Stripe into it, they designed a landing page using Gemini. They have literally the app that they want to sell and it works. And it actually solves a real problem, but they cannot market it. They cannot use distribution to get users downloading the app and actually going ahead and checking out the SaaS that they built and they spend all this time on. And that's why I put in a lot of effort into this section over here. A lot of people think that marketing is the 1%. This is just the last thing that you do and it's not very important. You just put 2 tweets or 2 Reddit posts and that's it. You see, distribution is probably a good 50% of the whole SaaS that you have built. Until this point, you have only done 50% of the work. Now 50% of the work is left to do. In my case, I used a YouTube funnel. Very simply, I made YouTube videos using the SaaS, embedding them into the workflow. I have a YouTube channel which is one of the biggest ones in the niche of game development. So I could easily just do some videos introducing Build Buddy into the actual video and add the famous link in the description to the landing page that I built. And now you're probably gonna say, oh, but you had a YouTube channel. You had hundreds of thousands of subscribers. This was easy for you. Well, the thing is that you don't need a big YouTube channel to distribute your app. You don't need thousands of followers. You just need to make videos. There's this thing called the micro niche, which is basically targeting a very specific audience. In other words, instead of making videos intended to go viral with 100,000 views, you're making videos to hit a very specific target audience that might literally reach 100 views. And funny enough, this video that you're seeing right now is targeted for you guys in this micro niche, for specific app builders that they want to create SaaS solo. So in other words, just go ahead and make YouTube videos targeting the specific niche that you build your SaaS for, and you'll be able to succeed. Everything leads to the landing page. That's the final conversion rate. So make sure that your pricing page that I show you guys over here is actually very strong and efficient. And this landing page and this pricing is something that you should be, modifying very often, like literally per week. You should be having everything analyzed with statistics like I have over here in my dashboard, and I can see the whole retention rate. I can see the whole thing where everyone clicks, how much time they spend looking at the free plan, how much time they spend, looking at the pro plan. Everything is analyzed so that I can look at the analytics and say, okay, I need to improve this and that. And literally, Cloud Code can help you do this and analyze everything that you're tracking. A lot of people might think that you just make the landing page and the pricing page one time and that's it. No, when you create it, you just started with it. Now the work is to be done. And I know that I just talked for 10 minutes or so and everything seems super easy and I made this in just 2 weeks. But the thing is that there's an exact blueprint and system that you can easily follow to do exactly what I did and build your SaaS in just no time. That's why I built my AI Apps Club. In this community, I will literally give you access to the exact PRD plus TDD templates that I used to build my app. I will give you the exact landing page template with the structure and looks. You have access to the cloud code optimization workflows that I had to ensure that the app runs seamlessly. I will give you prompt packs. I will give you the onboarding template. I'll give you the conversion flow template that you can use. And this is just the 1% of what you will find inside. So if you want to join, the link is on the description on the paid tier. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe and comment what SaaS you're building. And now, yes, with all that said, bye.